Alright guys, I got a new battery and put it back in. Right there, like 25. I don't know why I say 0925. I don't buy in September. I buy, or maybe they had them in there from September. But that's the new one. I hope that lasts at least 3 years. They told me I could buy a cheap battery for like $125, $135. But they only be 1 year warranty. And I pay $180 for this one with 3 years warranty. So if something goes wrong with this battery before 3 years, I can take it back. I got it back in and clean the sensor that I say I'm gonna clean it up right there. I thought it was gonna be complicated, but no, it was not too complicated. I don't get to clean the one is the oxygen sensor, but I will go through one day through all the sensors. I need to find it where everyone is and take it one off one at a time and clean it up. And if I have to replace it, I'll replace it. Cause I've been driving this truck for, let's see, probably over 20 years, at least 20 years. Cause I think, see, I met my wife in 2004. And she's the one see this truck. And before this one, I have a Mazda 4-cylinder. But I sold that one to a friend of mine and they bought this one. When I bought it, I know something wrong when I go and tell the guy, can I drive it? He don't want me to, but I said, well, how can I go and buy a vehicle and I don't know it's gonna run? I said, I had to drive it. He said, oh, you gonna spin tires? I said, probably not, but I'm gonna have to push the gas a little bit hard to see how it's gonna work. Well, sometimes I push the gas. See, this one is 5 speeds. I push the gas and try to not push it too hard because he don't want me to. And it takes time to change it to the second gear, the third. And he wants $5,000 or $6,000. I tell her, I give you half of what you want. I said, because I had to change the engine. So yeah, sure enough, I did drive it for a year, probably like that, year or two. Then I put a new engine. Well, I paid somebody else to put them in. I be honest, I'm not that smart. I had to pay somebody else to do that. But in these 20 years, I probably just put 50,000 miles on the new motor. Well, guys, I know I'll keep you longer than here. I need to try to crank to see if that's gonna crank. So let me go inside and try to see if it's gonna crank. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, I'm down here inside the truck. And I'm gonna try to crank to see if that's gonna crank. Here's 5 speeds. So there's a clutch way down here. Alright. Alright. I always tell my wife, cross your fingers and your toes. She said, why? I said, it might be you have to do double to make it work. Well, I'm cranking, see if they crank. There you go. Light right there, that mark check engine. So there's still one sensor somewhere that I need to go through every sensor and probably change spark plugs and cables. But one thing at a time. I can't do all in one time. But there's the little things that I can do. Change the spark plugs and cables. It might be the complicated part because I can use both of my hands, but we'll get it done. Around the crank back on. All right, let me turn it back off. Then turn on again. Turn it off. Alright, that's off. Now back on here. Cranks again. Okay, it works. So I still gonna work a little bit on it, but like I say, this a simple things, not too complicated. I just need to find the sensors to clean it. I know the oxygen sensor and the one I just cleaned, but that's probably 2 or 3 more that I need to find. Alright, I'm gonna turn it off. I should have let it run for a little bit, but the battery is new, so it should be okay. I know it cranks. When I crank it, I leave it for at least 5 to 10 minutes run, so all the oil move around. But I think I got it long enough running, so I'm just gonna turn it off. All right, guys, we got it working again, so I'll worry about it for a while because I work in other projects and just leave this behind. And now that's one thing that the other little things, little issues that I think that's why this check engine show up down here. I can do that one at a time. I'm not gonna try to do every one. Alright guys, we finally got this truck running. It kind of get a little fight, but we got it going. Like I say on the video, it's still 2 more sensors. I know where to find the oxygen sensor, but there's one more that I need to go through looking for and see where I can find it. But I might be tell my wife how to Google, see where we can find it. Yeah, like I always tell people, I don't know what I'm doing. But at this case, at this time, I'm not a mechanic. But I've been driving the same vehicle for 20 years, probably more, 21. So this is not the first time that I have issues with. This time I kind of know where to look the problem. But there's something electrical where you have to have something to test to see where's the problem. I don't mess with all the wires because I could do something more worse or something wrong and made it more worse. But at this time I change the battery, starter, alternator, water pump, little parts like that I can do myself. But if there's something more complicated, no, I do not mess with it. I just take it to a mechanic. A friend of mine has two friends. They're mechanics. Yeah. I could have just asked them what I think is the problem, but sometimes they tell me I can come and check it. So they just come and check it. They tell me this is the problem. Go ahead and go get the part, and we change it. Sometimes they help me take the part off, and I just go about it, and they put it on for me. But yeah, I'm not professional on any time. A lot of people tell me, why don't you trade that truck for a new one? I said, it's still running. I said, this is because I have a little issues. I said, that's something, we can fix it. I said, I know, it's gonna be today with the battery, maybe in a few months later, might be the starter or something else. But you always have an issue, no matter what kind of vehicle you drive. But I'm gonna keep driving till they stop. But I don't think it's gonna be pretty soon because when I pay the guys to put a new engine, I watch how many miles they have when they put a new engine. And from there to the miles they got now, I think they only have probably 50 around there, between 50 and 70,000 miles on the engine that I put them in, and they were brand new. Well, guys, I hope you like watching our videos. If you do, please like, share, and subscribe. Well, like I said, we do not pretend that we know a lot of things. We just, like myself in this case, like I say, I drive this vehicle for a long time, and if something sounds weird, like making noise or quit for no reason, I start to kind of investigate a little bit, and sometimes I find the problem, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I have to ask my friend. Well, guys, again, if you like watching our videos, please like, share, and subscribe. God bless every one of you guys. Keep us in your prayers. We keep you in our prayers.